What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And of course, there's really not a lot going on Treasure Cruise right now, though do keep note that, during this week, we might get some pretty cool stuff. Obviously, the Kizuna Clash is going to be debuting on the 19th, and the 22nd of July, One Piece Day, is also going to be this week, so it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be revealed on that day, whether we have some big celebration. I'm assuming the celebration is going to be starting on the 22nd. We'll have to wait and see. But in this video today, we're talking about Marco, which is a character that I really don't use all that much, but I actually was able to get him to level 150 using some duplicates that I pulled during the support Sugo Fest, as well as having an additional dupe. Was able to get him to 150, and whenever I get a character like this to 150, I want to showcase them for you guys, showing what they're kind of able to do. So we'll go through his abilities, give you my thoughts and opinions on the character. So Marco is, as we said, a character that I don't really use too much, a very old character, but with level limit break definitely gets some pretty interesting buffs. I don't think he's going to see a lot of play as a captain, because these captains don't have super swap, or they don't have the super types or super classes or anything, but his captain ability is pretty solid, giving your quick and psi characters 4.5 times attack, but if you have full HP, it's a 5.25 times attack. And of course, with his special, you're able to abuse that to its fullest extent. So, 5.25, as long as you're at full HP, is pretty decent. He also does make quick and psi slots beneficial to the quick and psi characters, so just getting more matching slots is always great. And the fact that he himself is a powerhouse character means you can run a powerhouse or a cerebral based team with him, and you can use the Zunisha ship to make recovery and tandem slots beneficial. Just generating more matching slots is always good. But Marco has an additional effect that says that if you're above 70% HP, then he reduces damage taken by 30%. But if you're below 70% HP, you actually heal 1500 health at the end of each turn. So it's just a way that this character is kind of focused, where, if you're at that relatively high HP threshold, you get a pretty decent amount of damage reduction. But once you fall below that threshold, he tries to heal you back up over that threshold to reduce more damage taken. If you guys ever used this character when he first came out, like original release, he was so much worse, as it was like, once you fall below the 70% HP threshold, he ends up losing his attack multiplier or something. It was like really bad, but they've made his captain ability usable. I mean, 5.25 is good, and you only get that if you're above the 99% threshold, but his special ability definitely helps with that, as it has a pretty amazing change with his special. So the special ability itself does recover 100 times his recovery in HP, which didn't change. The amount that he recovers is the same, but obviously with the level limit break, he gets substantial statistical increases, which means that overall the healing is increased naturally. So I think that's actually fine that they didn't change the multiplier. But what they did change is they made the healing from Marco's special allows you to overheal, which of course with his captain ability, you want to make sure that you're at full HP in order to get the bigger multiplier. So the special ability facilitates that perfectly. Now, another thing that Marco did is that he was a 2x orb booster with his, regular level 99 form. With level limit break level 5, his special ability slightly alters to still being a 2x orb boost, but then he also says that if you already have an orb boosting effect when you launch Marco's special, he's going to buff the orb boost by 0.3 times. And we actually use that a little bit later on in this video in the final clip against the Arena Kawamatsu. Very interesting effect, and I think that's actually kind of nice that he has that, because a 2x orb boost really isn't that great when you think about it in today's day and age. So the fact that you can use some other random orb booster like a 2.5 or a 2.75 orb boost, use his special ability, and then buff it to even higher heights, I think it's actually kind of nice. And then there's a really unique thing that they've added to Marco's special ability. I don't know why they chose these pieces of utility in particular, but when you launch the special ability of Marco, he also reduces 7 turns of chain coefficient reduction and 7 turns of attack down, and all of those in particular are going to be in full flight once we get to the final clip of the video versus Arena Kawamatsu. But yeah, very odd choice of utility on this character. I mean, 7 turns of attack down and chain coefficient reduction. I think, generally speaking, that if he removed chain lock, it probably would have been a little bit more valuable, because a lot of the times against chain coefficient reduction, you can just use a chain locker to get around that. So I think in a lot of cases that it would have been better if he removed chain lock, but at the same time, if you have your own chain lock and then you use Marco's special ability, Marco would actually remove that. So, you know, there's the give and take with the special ability. But of course, the main question that people are going to have is whether or not this character is even worth running on a team. And while I think he does have some pretty unique abilities, overhealing is always going to be a useful ability to have. The way to buff orb boosting effects is pretty good. And I guess, you know, if you're ever up against a situation where you have to remove a substantial amount of attack down, or there's just not a lot of ways to get around chain effects, and you can just use his special ability to get around chain coefficient reduction, which is pretty neat. Also, something to note, we actually are using Legend Smoker as a friend captain against Crocodile, which is just so funny to think about, but he actually works amazingly with Marco, as we're able to make Marco's orb boosting effect last for an additional turn, which is actually pretty useful in that fight versus Crocodile. And here is the final clip here versus the Arena Kawamatsu, using essentially a full powerhouse team here, though we do have a little bit of a weird one with Hina, and the main reason why Hina was here is because we have to deal with special reverse on the final stage. And the thing is when you launch Hina's special, she actually does provide her own orb boost. It's a 1.75 times orb boost, which means that when we activate the special ability of Marco after the fact, it's going to make Hina's orb boost, instead of 1.75, it's going to become a 2.05 times orb boost, which is slightly better than what Marco would naturally provide with his effect. You know, obviously not the best showcase in terms of, you know, buffing an orb boost, but it's still, you know, in practice, it works quite effectively, and especially because when we reach the final stage of Kawamatsu, we get inflicted with attack down, we get inflicted with chain coefficient reduction. Marco's special ability can remove both of those, as well as provide the healing, and we got Whitebeard here, and Whitebeard works really good here because he'll also provide us with a chain boost and an attack boost for our crew. So all in all, a pretty efficient team that gets the job done. Though one big downside I have found with a lot of these level limit break characters, like the older ones, like the Whitebeards, the Marcos, etc., is that their cooldowns are still very high, and you know, you probably have to explore limit break expansion to, you know, really use these guys in the best case scenarios, because Marco's cooldown is 16. With Limit Break Plus, it does go down to 14, which is a little bit more respectable, but still, some of these characters that are old legends receiving these amazing level limit breaks still have absurdly high cooldowns. It really makes them not as useful in regular content, because you do have to stall for quite a long time. So I think it would have been probably a good idea to maybe add cooldown reduction in his captain ability. I think that would have been pretty neat, but it is what it is. So that's going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.